Hello, my name is Lori Lamonto. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm also a licensed drug and alcohol counselor. This channel is called Courage to Change. I'm trying to hold my tripod today, so I don't know if it's even necessary, but I was going to try to explain something and maybe move around a little bit with it, but we'll see. In therapy, okay, when people come to therapy, and it's a family system, okay, you might have someone they typically call sometimes the black sheep, which is not a nice name, or the scapegoat, okay? And the scapegoat or the black sheep, they would bring them to therapy because they're being considered the identified patient, okay? They're the one that the family is saying is the problem, okay? This one's the problem. They're in trouble at school, they're in trouble with relationships, they fail out, they are disrespectful, they swear, they fight, okay? They're looking at that child or that, partner, whoever, as the troublemaker, okay? The black sheep of the family or the scapegoat of the family, and maybe we can one day talk about all the roles, and they're the identified patient. However, it's very interesting. Yes, sometimes it's DNA, sometimes there's depression, anxiety, sometimes there's mental health issues. And, this cannot maybe be completely true every single time. However, most of the time what's happening is everyone in the family plays a role, okay? And say mom's a drinker, but it's a secret, okay? And the community, the town, and nobody knows that mom is drinking, okay? Or, dad is a workaholic and he's never home, okay? So the relationships and the emotional attachments aren't happening, okay? So in the end, okay, what I'm coming to is the scapegoat or the identified patient is sort of the one that's trying to tell the society, there's something wrong in my family. There's something wrong. Everybody around has a problem. My dad and mom fight. My mom drinks at night. My dad never comes home. There's no emotional connection. And this child, or, I'm going to use child today. This child ends up being the risky business one, but he's also trying to let the community know things in my home aren't good, okay? So the scapegoat, for a lack of a word, sometimes is the truth teller. They're the ones that end up telling the truth. That identified patient is like, hold the phone. Mom's a drinker, dad's never home, they fight all the time, but I'm going to be the one that's looked at as the troublemaker, okay? So typically the parents end up putting that child, whether it's addiction or emotional dysregulation or whatever, the parents put that child in some kind of higher level of care, or they put that child in a rehab to try to get the child help. Okay. Family stays the same. Okay. They don't maybe get as much family therapy. They maybe don't address mom's drinking or dad's working or dad's anger, but the child is getting all this help and the family system is staying the same. So what happens as the child goes to get help, whatever the parents say, okay, they go and address some issues. However, they come back home into the home and the family is still the same, okay? So the cycle repeats. The scapegoat or the troublemaker ends up being the one that still acts out to let people know there's something wrong with my family. It's sometimes done very unconsciously. They are getting in trouble. They realize that they're risky behavior, but does anybody really realize what's going on in my home, okay? So I was going to try to show, like, say, let's just say it's alcoholism and they're 18 years old and they come and they're always the problem. They're the drinker, they're the troublemaker, but yet mom and dad are fighting. There's abuse, there's, battered relationship, domestic violence or something. But the 18-year-old is the one that's coming into the family. So I don't know if I can really do this, but let's see if there's a way to express it a little. So typically, let's just say I'm the 18-year-old, I'm the addict. okay? Mom's here, dad's here behind me, sister here, dog here, okay? I'm the 18-year-old. I go to get into recovery. I move out of the picture, and now we still have mom, dad, sister, and dog, okay? So when mom, dad, sister, and dog get the 18-year-old to come back to be in the family, they're kind of lined up now equal, okay? I'm sober, I'm in recovery, I feel good, I have some counseling. Mom, dad, sister, and dog all have to deal with their issues now, because it was a lot easier to keep the addict as the problem, as the identified patient. It was easier to just keep them as the focus, okay? So eventually, almost unconsciously, the mother, the father, the sister put the addict back in the center to be the center of attention, and now they're the problem again. Mom doesn't have to look at her addictions, dad doesn't have to look at his battered behavior, sister doesn't have to look at how she's avoided and cries all the time, and the dog just stays in the corner. But everybody gets to look again at the addict. So they almost have a hard time dealing with themselves. So this one is trying to say, my family's a mess. We all need help, okay? I'm the troublemaker, the scapegoat, the black sheep. However, they put you back into this role and you start being risky business again, so then they ignore all their issues, okay? So this is about really, okay, I tried to explain it a little bit, but this really is about family systems and taking ownership, but how the scapegoat is the truth teller. Okay, the scapegoat is the one that people will put their focus on them, but really everyone behind them is a big old problem. Okay, this is where family therapy comes in. Okay, so if you are potentially maybe DNA, maybe it's just who you are, maybe it's ADHD or something like this, okay, then that's a little different. But if you really are with a family system and family dysfunction, and you're the one that's trying to scream out to people, there's a problem in this family, do know they're going to keep putting you back in that role, okay? Because they don't want to deal. They don't want to deal with their issues that are going on. Now, I'm not saying every family is like this, but a lot of times in my family sessions, I'll find out the one who is really being like the truth teller, the exposure, the one who's trying to scream out to people, there's a freaking problem in my family, okay? I look like I'm the problem, but it's the family that's the problem, okay? So be encouraged, okay, that this is about educating specifically today about what is a scapegoat, what is the roles of the family, what is how it could happen, and then how you put them back in that role because you don't actually want to change. You don't want family therapy, you just want them to get better. Doesn't really work that way. Okay, you end up needing to all come to therapy. So I know I did like a little stand-up thing, and I hope that idea made sense. Okay, that the one who tried to get the help and did get the help comes along on equal playing fields, okay, and then they move them back into the position because the family doesn't want to look at themselves. Okay, try to really address your family system issues. I will do a little more on other titles because there are more titles to dysfunctional family roles. There's some other roles, but this specific one was on the scapegoat and trying to understand sometimes they're just risky, but other times they're being like the caused one to be exposing the truth. And the family don't want the truth to be told, so they keep them as the identified patient. Okay, so anyway, be educated, try to take the courage to change, try to know what role you're at, try to help your family so that all of you can heal. Okay, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you be a part of the community.